If a woman looks at you like this, she's sexually drawn to you. You've probably felt it before that split second when a woman's glance seems to linger just a little too long. Was it accidental or intentional? Most men miss the difference and, as a result, they walk away, never realizing what was right in front of them. Today, we're breaking down the 10 hidden signals behind a woman's eyes that reveal when she's not just looking at you. She's drawn to you, in a way that's deeper, more primal and far harder to fake, and trust me. By the time we reach number 1, you'll see every glance you've ever received in a whole new light. If you're new, welcome. We share daily strategies to help men dating on this channel. Dark facts. 2. Drop a comment below and subscribe for more. 10. The pause before. The smile. When a woman glances at you and there's a brief suspended moment. Before she smiles, that pause is everything. Here's why. Most smiles are automatic. They happen fast, almost like a reflex. But when her eyes meet yours and there's a flicker of stillness, first just half a second where her expression seems to freeze, that's her brain registering attraction. It's like her mind is caught between instinct and control. The pause is her subconscious deciding, do I show him what I'm feeling or do I hide it? Think about it. You've probably seen polite smiles 1,000 times. They're quick, polite, surface level. This kind of pause, though it's different, it feels charged like a held breath. If you catch it, don't rush to respond. Hold the tension for just a beat. Your calmness makes her feel safe, enough to let the attraction surface. And here's the kicker. Women who do this often won't even realize they've given themselves away. To dive deeper, this pause also signals her brain engaging a complex emotional decision-making process, which happens unconsciously as she balances the risk of vulnerability with the desire to connect. So when you hold your ground, you're essentially giving her permission to reveal more without fear of judgment. The double glance with a shift. Ever notice when someone looks at you, then away, and then back again? Most men think that's just random curiosity, but when there's a subtle shift in her posture between the first and second glance, it's a dead giveaway. Here's what's happening. On the first glance, she's testing the waters. On the second glance, she's silently inviting you to notice her. The shift, maybe she angles her body toward you, tucks her hair back, or opens her shoulders, signals readiness. It's not about being obvious, it's about creating an invisible bridge between you. This pattern comes from something ancient, courtship instincts that go back thousands of years. The first glance is instinct. The second is intention. If you notice this happening, don't immediately rush over or break the moment. Instead, mirror her energy just slightly. Turn a bit toward her, hold your ground, and let her see that you've noticed. This creates a loop of awareness that builds tension without words. To add more insight, this signal also reveals her comfort level, increasing with your presence. She's subconsciously letting down defenses and signaling that she's open to interaction without the need for verbal cues. This subtle dance of glances and shifts creates an unspoken language between you that deepens the connection exponentially. The half-hidden stare. Sometimes attraction doesn't show up as bold eye contact. It shows up as a glance she doesn't want you to catch. Here's how. To tell the difference between a shy look and a disinterested one. When a woman's sexually drawn to you, she won't just look away, she'll anchor herself first. Maybe she looks down at her phone but doesn't actually type. Maybe she fidgets with a glass, a necklace, or even just her sleeve. That small anchoring movement is her way of grounding the rush of adrenaline she feels from noticing. You disinterest looks clean and simple. She glances away and moves. On attraction looks messy. It has hesitation. This kind of hidden stare often happens in professional settings, group hangouts, or anywhere she feels she has to keep her cool. And here's the wild part. The more she hides it, the more intense the attraction usually is. Most men never catch this because they're only looking for obvious signals, but when you learn to spot the subtle stalling movements, you'll see the truth. No one else sees, and that truth becomes undeniable when you spot the next sign, a reaction. She couldn't fake, even if she tried. To go even further, these anchoring gestures are her body's way of managing internal conflict between desire and social restraint understanding. This allows you to recognize attraction even in high-pressure environments where direct eye contact might be socially risky for her. 7. The micro-freeze. There's a split-second reaction the human body has to strong sexual attraction: stillness. It's called the freeze response, and it's deeply wired into our nervous system. Here's how it looks in real life. You walk into a room, and she sees you unexpectedly. For just a heartbeat, her whole body stops, her hands, her shoulders. Even her blinking slows. Then just as quickly she recovers, and pretends nothing happened. Why does this matter? Because most other signs of attraction can be performed. A woman can consciously smile, laugh, or make eye contact, even if she's not really feeling it. But the micro-freeze, it's primal. It only happens when her nervous system is overwhelmed by desire. Think of it like a deer spotting something in the woods. For that instant, all of her attention locks onto you. To notice, this you have. To be present. You can't be glued to your phone or lost in your own thoughts. You need to walk into a space with awareness and let her reaction hit you before you even say a word. When you catch this moment, don't call attention to it. Simply smile. Slightly as if you didn't notice, and watch how it unsettles her in the best way to deepen your understanding. The freeze response is a survival mechanism that momentarily halts all movement, allowing the brain to process a sudden stimulus. In the case of attraction, this freeze is a raw and unfiltered moment of her body's honest reaction before her mind kicks back in to manage social norms. The instinctive lean in. When attraction ramps up, a woman's body will betray her through leaning. Not the obvious kind, like physically moving closer during a conversation. This lean is subtle, almost imperceptible, and it happens even when she's sitting completely still. Here's what to watch for. Her head tilts toward you ever so slightly. When you speak, her shoulders angle forward, even if she's trying to play it cool. Sometimes she'll even shift her weight without realizing it, as though her whole body is being pulled toward you magnetically. The beauty of this sign is that it often shows up before words do. You could be across the room, and she'll still angle herself toward you as though your presence is drawing her in. This matters because attraction isn't just about looks, it's about energy. When her nervous system feels safe and lit up around you, her body moves without permission. But here's the trap most men fall into. They lean back in too soon, thinking they need to match her. Instead, hold steady. Give her space to keep leaning toward you until she's the one closing the gap. And as powerful as this signal is, the next one brings things into the realm of danger because it involves her losing control completely. To expand on this, the lean in is a subconscious expression of comfort and trust, which precedes emotional intimacy. Recognizing and respecting this signal can help you avoid overwhelming her and instead build a genuine connection at her pace. The unguarded laugh glance. When a woman's sexually drawn to you, there's a moment she often doesn't plan. For the instant, right after she laughs. Here's what usually happens. You say something funny or playful. She laughs, maybe even louder than she meant to, but what matters is the look that follows. Most polite laughs end cleanly. She smiles, looks away, and the energy resets, but an unguarded laugh glance is different. Her laughter spills over and her eyes snap to yours, as if she's checking to see if you noticed her reaction. It's almost like she's giving herself away in the aftermath of joy. This happens because laughter lowers our defenses. For a few seconds, her logical mind takes a backseat and the raw attraction bubbles up. Her body says, "I want him," before her mind has a chance to edit it. Here's the tricky part. Most guys focus on the joke itself and miss the aftershock. The glance is where the truth lives. If you catch her eyes in that moment, don't overplay it. Just hold her gaze a fraction longer than expected, then return to the conversation. That tiny pause will amplify the tension between you, and if you think that's subtle, the next sign takes things even deeper because it shows up in the exact way she avoids looking at you. To add another layer, this unguarded glance is a glimpse into her authentic emotional state before self-consciousness steps in catching it, and responding with calm assurance creates an intimate moment that strengthens attraction. The delayed retreat. Sometimes it's not about the glance itself, but how long she takes to pull away. Imagine you're talking with her, and she glances at you in mid-conversation. When there's zero attraction, that glance is casual and fleeting, like checking a stoplight before crossing the street. But when she's drawn to you, there's hesitation. Her eyes don't dart away instantly. Instead, there's this strange delay, like she's fighting her own instincts. This is especially obvious in professional or high-stakes settings where she feels she shouldn't be looking at you that way. The attraction slows her response time, even if it's only by half a second. And here's what's fascinating. She might disguise it with a little head movement as though she's shifting focus rather than breaking eye contact. Men who notice this often second-guess themselves, thinking, maybe I imagined it. But the truth is, that delay is her body betraying her feelings. It's like a movie frame caught between desire and denial. When you spot this, don't call it out or react strongly, just keep the conversation flowing as if you didn't notice. That quiet confidence makes the tension even more electric. To go deeper, this delayed retreat reflects the internal conflict between attraction and social caution. Acknowledging it subtly by maintaining your composure can encourage her to feel safe enough to express herself more freely. The silent map of you. Attraction has a habit of traveling through the eyes, and when a woman's drawn to you, she often maps you without realizing it. Here's what that looks like. Her gaze doesn't stay locked on your face. Instead, it drifts, pausing at your hands, your shoulders, or even lower, before snapping back up as if nothing happened. This isn't the obvious checking you out that movies show. It's faster, more instinctive, like her eyes are trying to memorize you. The key detail, it happens during conversation, when there's no reason for her to be looking elsewhere. If you're talking about something completely neutral and her gaze briefly trails down, that's pure subconscious attraction at work. Most women try to hide this by pairing it with a movement, like adjusting their hair or shifting in their seat so it looks like the glance was incidental. But if you're paying attention, you'll see the pattern. And here's the twist. When she's deeply drawn to you, her gaze often ends where it began. Back at your mouth. It's not about words at that point. It's about what she's imagining. Once you see this happen, don't immediately respond. Let the silence hang for just a beat. That unspoken moment can be more powerful than anything you say to elaborate further. This mapping is her brain's way of processing you as a whole person beyond just facial features. Her eyes unconsciously catalog details as part of building a mental image that fuels desire and intrigue. The unconscious mirroring spark. Most people know about mirroring and body language. When someone subtly copies your movements because they feel connected to you, but sexual attraction adds a whole other layer. Most men never notice when a woman is deeply drawn to you. Her eyes and breathing will start to sync with yours before her body even moves. Here's how to spot it. During conversation, watch her pupils and chest. If she starts blinking in rhythm with you or her breathing unconsciously matches your pace, that's not coincidence. It's her nervous system trying to merge with yours. This happens because attraction isn't just about looks or charm. It's about physiological alignment. Her body literally begins to tune itself to you like two instruments, resonating on the same note. The most striking moment is when you change your rhythm deliberately. Pause mid-sentence. Take a slightly deeper breath. If she follows suit without realizing, you've confirmed what her conscious mind hasn't admitted yet. She's completely drawn to you, and this sets the stage for the most shocking signal of all, the one glance that almost no man knows how to read. But once you do, you'll never forget it. To add an important insight, this unconscious synchrony is part of what scientists call social entrainment. It's a subconscious way to build rapport and intimacy on a physiological level which amplifies attraction beyond words. The vanishing focus. This final sign is so subtle, most men miss it entirely. It's not about direct eye contact. It's about the moment right before she loses it. When a woman is intensely attracted to you, there comes a point where her focus literally blurs. Her eyes may be on you, but she's no longer seeing you in the ordinary sense. Here's how it appears you'll notice her. Gaze soften almost like she's daydreaming. The muscles around her eyes relax and her pupils widen slightly. For a few seconds, it's as if the rest of the world fades away. Why does this happen? Because sexual desire is overwhelming. Her brain begins flooding with chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, and her visual processing literally shifts. It's the same look someone has when they're about to kiss. Someone even if they don't realize they're about to. This vanishing focus is the clearest sign you'll ever get. But it's fleeting. She'll snap out of it quickly, often with a small embarrassed laugh or a sudden movement to break the spell. Most men panic in that moment or rush to speak. The key is to stay still. Let her feel the weight of what just happened. When you hold your calm, you create a space where her attraction can deepen without pressure. This is the point where everything shifts from curiosity to undeniable desire. Once you've seen this look, you'll never confuse it with anything else. To expand. This vanishing focus is an intense moment of neurochemical overload that temporarily alters perception, making you the sole center of her attention. It's a profound emotional experience that signals she's ready for something more intimate and real. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden language of attraction, make sure to subscribe to Dark Facts 2. Where we break down daily strategies to help men master dating and social dynamics. Drop a comment below with your thoughts or experiences, and don't forget to hit the like button for more content that empowers you to decode the signals others misremember. Attraction is a language, and now you're fluent thanks to Dark Facts 2.